When I look at a lot of these posts online and Reddit, passport bros and passport bros, I've noticed they all have one thing in common. They all have one thing in common, and that thing is a lot of men have this superiority complex within the passport bro communities to where they feel entitled to have women in these various countries that they visited. Every day almost, I look at these communities and I see men that are saying, "Oh, these women are stuck up. These women are this. They are like they're this. They're like they're too good for you. They are like they're this, that, and the third in these communities." And that's why I used to be a frequent commenter in various communities. But then I started realizing that the comments were copy and paste, Control C, Control V. A lot of the men in these passport bro communities have one thing in common. They think they're too good for the system. They feel privileged. They feel like it's an honor to be in their presence. Riddle me that. Riddle me that. Why is the community full of men that feel like when they go to a country, women should be bowing down at their feet, calling them king, master, sir? Women should just be so privileged and happy and honored just to be around these guys. And listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? Passport bros, which guys who are traveling, expats, gringos, whatever terminology or term or definition that you want to use, stick with. But I'm going to be honest with you. No matter what you look like, there's a woman that is seeing 100 of you. Whether you're going to Colombia, Dominican Republic, Brazil, Panama, Costa Rica, Thailand, Philippines, Laos, Malaysia, Singapore, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, Albania, Romania, Hungary, United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Lebanon, Kuwait, Qatar. No matter where you decide to step your 2 feet, there are women that have seen 100 of you. And I feel like the problem within this community, so to speak, is men have the game wrong. And I'm gonna break it down to you. Let me break it down to you. If you didn't have women bowing to your feet, chasing you, pursuing you in the States, it's unlikely that you're gonna have these experiences overseas, right? And let's be honest, right? Someone can say I'm ugly, right? So let's say I'm ugly, right? Let's say I'm ugly in the States. When I get on that 12-hour plane ride to another country and I step foot in that country, guess what? I am still ugly. Let's be honest. A lot of men go overseas for a self-esteem boost, and they come back with low self-esteem. It's just a lot of men that go overseas and their expectations is different from reality when it comes from dating and finding women and finding the love of their life and approaching women and women talking to them and women being interested in them. Because let's be honest, guys, no matter what country you're going to, there's a lot of tourists there. There's not no country someone's been to the, oh man, I was the only American, I was the only European, I was the only black guy. Let's be honest, guys. We have to bring something to the table. It's not necessarily monetary, right? Right. And I'll give you an example. I was watching this girl's TikTok TikTok in the Philippines, right? Earlier today. She's working out, right? She's doing a lot of dancing and BSing and talking and not working out, but she was in the gym working out, right? Let's take her for example. Let's say, this woman that I was watching on TikTok that was dancing and working out in the gym today, right? And I meet her right out in the blue restaurant, walking down the street, Tinder, Bumble, Badu, uh, whatever app, right? Wherever I meet her at. You have to know if you meet a woman that works out, right? I mean, sometimes you can tell from looking at them, right? Most of the time, right? It depending on certain cultures. A lot of them are skinny, right? I'm not going to get into that, but a good portion of the time, you can tell a woman works out, right? So let's say you meet a woman and she works out, right? You bump into her at a coffee shop, and you obviously don't work out, right? You obviously don't work out, right? Let's say you meet a woman at a coffee shop, Starbucks, and she looks like she works out, and you obviously don't work out. Do you think that she's going to give you the time of day? Do you think that y'all going to be a perfect match? Do you think that y'all going to go on future dates? Do you think that she's going to fall in love with you? Do you think that she's going to be attracted to you? Do you think that she's going to want to get to know you? Think about it for a second. I'll take my feeling. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it for a second. I'm going to give you a few more seconds. We have to start looking for compatibility more than I have this blue passport. I am so superior. I am the catch and it's not you. We have to start looking for people that are compatible to us, right? We have to, right? And that's people say, oh, you go to these countries, go out with the locals and learn the language and this, that, and that. I don't necessarily agree. From someone that only goes to Spanish speaking countries, yeah, maybe, right? If you only go to DR in Colombia, that's the furthest you go with those couple of flights. If you only go to DR in Colombia, if that's the furthest you go, yeah, learn Spanish. But for someone that tries to immerse themselves in different countries and cultures, I'm not learning 5 languages a year, right? 6 languages a year, right? But if you're one of those guys that you want to go to DR in Colombia, learn the language. Have something in common with the woman besides for you're both human and alive and you both breathe air. You will have a better opportunity with getting a woman if you have something in common with her. Let's use the gym as an example because hey, most women that work out prefer a woman that works out. Most I've seen some women that fit probably had surgery, but men that look like they couldn't find a gym if it was on the same street as them, right? So there's some exclusions to the rule. But for the most part, you have to have something in common with these women to at least get their attention. So if you want to go to Spanish speaking countries, yes, learn the language, but learn other languages enough. Oh man, she's going to be drooling and sweating all over you. The guys in her country learn the language. The guys in her country learn the language in school when they were kids. The guys in her country know the language. So the whole I'm gonna learn the language and I'm gonna have an advantage. Okay, it's 2.5 million men in her country that know Spanish just like she knows Spanish. So she's gonna be she's gonna be overly excited because the gringo knows Spanish when it's 2.5 million guys that know Spanish. Let's be honest, guys. I think the saying of learn the language is an overrated saying. It's overrated. It's overrated. If she wanted a guy that knew the language, she realistically date a guy that's in our country. Because guess what? And I've said this, and I'll say this. Guys in her country, whether it's no matter what country it's in, they have more in common. They know the language, food, culture, history. They have the same family values, cultural values, probably similar religion, beliefs on politics. Women have more in common with the local guy than they do with tourists. So why would she date a tourist? Think about it. Think about it. You done? You done? You finish or you done? Most tourists, unless they are bringing something to the table or they look different or she's just attracted to people that don't look like her, most tourists don't have an advantage in foreign countries. 90% at least do not have an advantage in foreign countries. And let's be honest, the truth can never be considered disrespect. Do you know where or when a tourist or foreigner has an advantage in a foreign country? Think about it. A tourist and a gringo, an expat has an advantage in a foreign country for women that are looking to get out. A tourist and an expat in a foreign country has an advantage in a foreign country when a woman is looking to get out of that country. She's looking to escape. She's looking for a better life, and she really doesn't care too much about what you look like. She don't care about how much you make per se, right? She if the average salary in her country is 400 and you make 4,000, you're doing good. Where looks and personality and culture and language and religion and politics and all of those beliefs don't cross paths is when a woman is looking to get out. She's looking for a way out. And let's be honest, it's a lot of these. Listen, I've been to the Asian country. I don't mean to do it to dog out these Asian countries. Excuse me, because I've been to them, but it's the majority of these Asian countries. I ain't gonna say majority of the Asian. It's like two, like Thailand, Philippines specifically. You know, most women are looking for a way out, man. And listen, I talked about this, and I continue to talk about this because maybe you haven't heard this. Like, and I've said this 100 times before. I'm gonna say it 100 more times. The only place where I've seen petite, skinny women that had slim bodies with a lot of obese men right now. Listen, I'm just telling you what I've seen with my own eyes. The only place that I've seen obese men, I'm talking about not just one or two, I'm talking about 50, right? The only place that I've seen severely obese men, right? I don't know how you can be severely obese, but the only place that I've seen obese men and skinny women is Thailand and Philippines. I'm talking about not just one or two, right? A handful. I've seen the only place that I've seen an enormous amount of obese men, right? And thin women, skinny women. It's the Philippines and Thailand. With my own eye. This is what I heard. This is what I seen. This is what someone told me at work. I've seen this with my own eyes. Thailand and the Philippines. Right. So if you're, probably not the best looking guy in the world and you're not really not, into, taking care of yourself. If I was to suggest you go somewhere, I suggest you go to Thailand or the Philippines. Don't go to Patty because they're gonna empty your bank account, right? There's probably a place or two in Philippines. I don't know if I suggest you. I don't know if I suggest you go to Manila. I think that's the capital, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? There's places that I would suggest you might not go to, and areas I suggest you might not go to. Go to those places. But a lot of guys, man, it just bothers me that I read these comments. Oh, she's stuck up. Oh, I ain't getting no attention. Oh, she's playing games. Oh, this, that, and the third. Oh, she ghosted me. Oh, she didn't mention me back. Oh, they're stuck up. Listen, just because you had a bad experience in X country doesn't mean that the next guy behind she may have seen you and thought you were ugly. You were missing teeth. Your breath stunk. You didn't comb your hair. You didn't have deodorant on. She likes a man that wears cologne. You didn't have on cologne. Your shoes was beat up. You had crust in your eyes. You had a booger in your nose. She might have thought you were obese. Might have thought you was not tall enough. She likes a man that's 6 foot. She likes a man with blue eyes and you have brown eyes. There's so many things that go into what a woman likes that we can't go to a country not knowing what she likes and say the problem is her. We can't go to a country not knowing what she likes and say the problem is her. Think about that for a second. You know, I know I'm about to go to the gym. And that is the reason why I really stopped commenting on a lot of these communities and trying to help the community. Is because a lot of these guys have the superiority complex. A lot of these guys feel like they're a woman should be talking to them. A woman should be giving them the time of day. A woman should be approaching them. A woman should be DMing them back and messaging back on Tinder and all. A lot of these guys talk about women overseas that you know what they want to do? Post a picture of themselves. Post a picture of yourself, right? Post a picture of yourself, right? Show your Tinder profile. I might do a class one day on trying to improve your Tinder profile, right? Like, and this is, I mean, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. You can't go from these countries where it's extremely easy, Philippines, Thailand. You can't go from these countries where it's extremely easy, then go to Rio and think they're going to be flocking to you, and there's going to be a lot of women that are trying to get to know you because you had that experience in Bangkok. And let's be honest, guys. You can't go to these countries after you can't go to any other country after leaving Cebu. You can't go to any other country after leaving Manila or Quezon City, right? And expect the same type of reactions, man. Expect the same treatment. It's literally impossible. Here's my suggestion for men that are traveling or looking into traveling, right? Go where they like you, right? And I've done a video on, you know, what you look like is where you should go, right? I wouldn't suggest, another brother go to the Philippines and find a Filipina because let's be honest, and I'm gonna do a video on this. So most of them don't prefer us. Let's be honest. Like most of them, when you say, "Would you rather date a Filipino a black guy or white guy?" They're not gonna pick us first. Let's be. I'm gonna do a video on this soon. Don't worry. I have this clip that I seen on Instagram. Most of them don't prefer us. But are there some that prefer us? Yes, of course. I don't say, oh man, I date a Filipino. This group of Filipinos that goes to the hip hop club in Manila, they love us. Yeah. They go to the hip hop club, right? Yeah, of course they love us, right? How many hip hop clubs are there? Right? There's more not hip hop clubs than there are hip hop clubs, right? Of course, there's a small pool of women that like us, right? But for the most part, we aren't like brothers really aren't the primary focus for the majority of Filipinos in the Philippines. Right? I just don't. If someone said, "Hey, as a brother, do you suggest go to the Philippines?" No, I don't. I don't. Go where they like you. Go where they like your color and your culture and your history. But going on a plane and thinking a woman's just gonna like you just because you have this, like a lot of these guys on these Reddit our locations think, and they're complaining and they're crying and oh man, I ain't no good time here, I ain't no good time there. Oh man, don't go here, don't go. It's not them, it's you. And people that post, oh man, I got 200 likes in Bangkok. I got 300 matches in patio. That's expected, brothers. Like this rookie numbers like this. That's expected, man. It makes me laugh when I see a guy on Reddit showing he got 400 matches in the Philippines. Like, bro, like, that's expected, man. That's expected, man. That's expected. Like, that's expected. Like, no disrespect, but they're like the easiest countries to get back to. But take one thing into consideration: a lot of those women, like, they're gonna be your wife. They're looking to get inside of your pockets. Let's be honest. The truth can never be considered disrespect. Passport votes, go where you want it, not where you want.